Afternoon, folks. Thanks for joining me. Sorry it's been a little while, but I've been super busy. So today I'm going to share with you a little saltwater pattern, a little baitfish pattern. Can be used. I use it a lot for bass on the coast here. Very quick tie. Obviously you can use it for all sorts of predators, but this is one of the ones that I like to use a lot on this coast, mainly because the bass tend to be feeding on whitebait this time of year. This is a perfect little whitebait imitation. I don't think it's got a name, this fly. It's kind of like a scaled down deceiver, I suppose, but it's quick, it's easy to tie, very effective. So hook and the vise is a size 4 Mustad 34007, which is a fairly standard saltwater hook that I tie a lot of flies on. Thread for this is going to be just a uni thread in grey, 6/0 in grey. Okay, so we'll catch that on. As always, if you enjoy these videos, please click like, click subscribe, leave a comment in the comments box down there. Any suggestions, anything you'd like to see, please put a comment down there and I'll do my best for you. Okay, now that's caught in. First thing we're going to do is select a couple of cock hackles. This is just a dyed Indian cock cape, nice cheap one. I'm going to select a couple of hackles from the lower part of the cape there. They're going to be sort of similar sort of size, and that's going to do. Not too long, so two like that sort of size. Okay, and now I'm going to split them up and just pair them down the hook. And I want them to come over the back there, but it's whatever your length of the fly you want to have, just that's what you're going to pair it over the back of the hook. So about there is going to be about right, so about a time and a half length of the hook. I'm just going to catch those in, whip down to just past the barb there, just past the bend there, and just trim off. Just squeeze it back up again. I just want that level with the barb, with the point of the hook there. Okay, add a little bit of flash in there now. So we're going to use this stuff, a little bit of Turrell's Gliss and Glow. You can use all sorts of similar material. I like this. It's got a lot of movement in these. Whitebait have got these little pearly sides to them, silver sides to them. This would be a good little Silverside fly actually, if you're ever out doing a bit of tropical salt water. So about the same sort of length, similar sort of length to the feathers there. Just trim off a little bunch. You don't want to overdress this fly, at the same time you want a little bit of life about it. Just offer that up, catch it in, and then wind them all the way back up to the top, just forming a sort of a body shape up there. Just trim that excess off. Lovely. And then bring that back down again. And then we're going to come in your body material, and your body's going to be a bit of pearl Mylar, whatever pearl you've got lying around. I'm using some, it's actually Christmas decorations, but it's the equivalent of about number 16 pearl Mylar. So a couple of strands of that together, just held together. I'm just going to pinch that in and catch that in. Super quick fly this to tie. Bring that back up to the top of the hook, and then you're just going to form a body round here and work up the hook all the way to the top. And then catching, giving yourself plenty of room up with the eye here. All right, I'm going to try and catch it in above the hook here, because what I'm going to do, just work that back, and I'm just going to trim these so they just come in just short of the length of the fly. It's going to be a kind of an underwing almost, just adds a little bit more movement, a little bit more flash there. It's lovely. Okay, then we're going to put the top of this fly in. Top of this fly is Bucktail, and this is a silver grey Bucktail. Okay, get them dyed up in all sorts of different colours of course, but this is the silver grey that I use for this particular pattern. I'm just going to take a modest pinch. Okay, I don't want loads of this, just a modest pinch, and overdress this and trim off, and then offer it up to the hook. And I want this to be just sort of a little bit longer than the tail, but not much. Okay, so it's just going to come just over the top of those tail feathers that you've tied in there, but not by much. In fact, just shorten up just slightly. Yeah, I like the look of that. I'm going to catch that in, pull it sort of tight, and then just rotate it so it goes round the hook on both sides. Okay, so it's covering the fly on both sides there. Nice turns, and then you're going to trim off and just pull this waste off up here and just trim it nice and close to the hook. It's soft and easy, and if you don't use too much of this, it's not going to make a particularly bulky head on it. It's lovely. That's just caught in, and then just for a sort of an overwing, a little bit of effect, if you turn your bucktail around, often with a dyeing process you've got the natural behind it here, this natural stuff. I'm just going to take a little pinch of the natural and lay that over the top. It's just going to give you that nice sort of effect over the back of the fly there. Just that, just over the top of the fly. Now, not the same length as the fly, about 2/3 of the way down. This time you don't want to go the length of the hook. And I don't want this to spin too much either, so I'm going to make this nice tight in here. I don't want to curl it too much around the hook because I want that to stay in at the top there. And again, just trim off this excess. And the other little stray fibres that I might have got there. And then just tidy this up. Lovely. And that's pretty much the tying part of this done. Okay. And you can then catch off with your thread. Beautiful. Okay, and then up here, now we've done that, you've got your nice sort of fishy shape going there. Just checking there's no straggly little fibres. That's all right. We're going to add a couple of eyes in there now just to give it a little bit of life. So, just going to put a little dab of UV on there, just for the eyes to stick to. So a little drop on that side, a little drop on this side. That's lovely. A couple of little stray fibres there. We'll just trim those off. Yep. So it's just made that a bit sticky on both sides there. And I'm going to take these little eyes, and they're only tiny little eyes. These are little 2mm eyes. A couple of those. And one in your side. You could use super glue for this, but I find the UV is normally just enough just to hold them in position long enough. You can just manoeuvre them without the whole hooks, everything sticking to your fingers. That looks pretty good to me. So I'll come in with my torch, which is not where it should be. There we are. Give it a little blast just to set that. Lovely. Okay, so they're now set in position now, so they're not going to go anywhere. So now I can finish this head off now with a little extra drop of UV. So I'm just going to hold these fibres back a bit. I'm just going to come in with my UV and just make that sort of head shape that I want. Give it a blast to set it. Lovely. Same underneath. Come in, just put a little dab on there. Let me just shape that as I want it. It's actually sitting quite nicely. Give it a blast. And then with a nice thin layer around it, just to tie those eyes in, just not too much on the brush. Just come in over the top of the eyes, just to tie it into the rest of the head there, so it all gets one more coat. That's great. And then again, just another blast to hold that still. And what I will do as well, once this is dry, is I'll put a little coat of Sally Hansen's on it, just to really make it bomb proof. This is a cracking little fly. Dead easy, really quick to tie. It's less than 10 minutes and I've been talking in between, but once it gets wet and pulls back, it's got that lovely look about it, got that lovely sort of minnow look about it, lovely. What is for, I mean, whitebait's what I tie these for. You've got a real sort of whitebaity look about them. Great for bass when they start coming in. I mean, we haven't had a lot on this coast this year, unfortunately. The bass season's been very poor, but in previous years have done very well, bearing in mind we've got mainly schoolies, so you can scale this up or scale this down depending on the size of the fish you're chasing, really. But yeah, very successful little baitfish pattern, quick to tie. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please click like, click subscribe, and I'll keep getting back to you as often as I can. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.